we might as well talk about it a little bit. So, very strange response to this game. The Adventures of Elliot. I guess technically not an RPG, it's more of like a Zelda-like kind of game. This is a HD 2D game from everyone's very inconsistent company known as the Square of the Enix. I guess technically by Team Asano, which is part of Square Enix. Either way, it's Square Enix. I'm hearing a lot of very good things about it, but if you go to the Steam page for it, Adventures of Elliot. I want to say it's now, is it still mixed? Yes, it is still mixed. I think it's been going down. Maybe it went up a little bit. I don't know why it's mixed. I'm actually not entirely sure. I always like going to the negative reviews of a game to see why people don't like it. Not even a terrible game, although not that great, but not a bit, my big complaint is the price tag. If it was $30, I would choose to leave no review, but charging AAA price for this is criminal. So this is 90 Australian dollars. I want to say that's probably, I think that ends up being like 50 US dollars. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that'd be like $50 US game. Isn't even worth the price at a 20% discount. Gameplay is fine. I purchased because I was interested in the fact that it's a Zelda-type game of some sort and not turn-based. Mechanics are okay. Bosses are fun. None of that is okay. Biggest negatives, your companions won't shut up to the point that you enter a puzzle room, they're already trying to solve it for you before you even have time to think about it. Your first companion is ridiculous. I have a feeling that most of these complaints are going to be the companion's voice is annoying. It starts with a great game with decent storytelling, then they start using the map 3 times with bosses, and it feels very lazy and indie. Definitely not worth the price. I recommend waiting for a huge sale. Game optimization issues. Okay, yeah, game optimization issues, I think, yeah, valid, sure. I want to love it. Yet, even pushing the bitter taste of disappointment aside, price, performance. I think a lot of it seems to be price and performance. Game is great until you get the companion, and then FPS drops, so performance. I don't even... How does a game that looks like this have performance problems? Like... I don't even know how you manage that. That's actually impressive. Especially when you have, like, a history of making... You know, you're not, like, a new studio, right? It's not some, like, indie studio who's never done anything. I don't know. I've also seen people saying, like, the combat seems simplistic, and that makes sense because it's a 2D Zelda-like game. They've not exactly been known for the most complex combat. It would be nice if it had, you know, combat akin to something like an Ys game. You know? Ys is great. 2D Ys is great. 3D Ys is great. Ys is just great all around. Not every game is Ys, though, even though it probably should be. If you don't play the Ys series, go do so. If you want a game to start on, most of them are a pretty good starting point. I started with Lacrimosa of Dana, that is Ys 8. Technically, the games are connected, and there's like, you should play them from the first one, but they're all mostly self-contained stories, and you get around it. You can't do that with the Trail series, though. You can do it. Some people start on Cold Steel if they want to. I wouldn't recommend it. Go start with the first one and then play, you know, forward from there. And your life will be better because you've played both Ys and you've played Trails, and they're both a great series. And, yeah. I don't know. I'll probably check this game out. Square Enix is a weird company right now, right? They've got a lot of these smaller scale titles, which are... You know, people really like, right? Like, a lot of people really fucking love Octopath Traveler. I have not played it yet. I need to do that. It has been on my list for a very, very, very long time. Why I have not played it, I honestly could not fucking tell you. It seems like Square Enix is really leaning into this style right now as a, I guess as a way to... Look, if you want me to be honest... appease the boomers, right? And don't get me wrong, I am part of the boomer audience. I am 28. I know I am squarely part Square. I am squarely part of the Square boomer audience. I've played a number of Final Fantasy games after 10. I don't really care for them that much. 14 I enjoyed up until Endwalker, and then Endwalker the Endwalker ending is a little bit rough, and I've not played Dawn Trail yet, and maybe at some point. 13 is... It's a video game. 12 is fucking horrendous. I know people... There are these 12 enjoyers out there, but I don't know why they exist. 15... well... 15, man. 15 is certainly It is a video game. We never got Versus 13, but 15 certainly does exist, and Prompto is certainly a character, and 16 is a great fantasy Devil May Cry game. It's not a fucking Final Fantasy, though. That's what I'll say. So I understand I am part of the boomer audience. I didn't actually realize I owned Octopath Traveler. I should go and actually just play it then. But, you know, they've got the Final Fantasy Resonance? Resonance. Yes, Resonance. Wait. Resonance is cheaper than the Adventures of Elliot. What? Why? What? Why would you have the new Final Fantasy game cheaper than your new IP that people aren't really sure on? What is going through the minds of the Square Enix marketing team? Because I don't fucking know. If they said it at 75 Australian dollars, which would be 40-ish, I think 40-ish American dollars, I think people would be less bothered by Adventures of Elliot. I'm so curious to see what Square ends up doing with 17, because 16 was such a divergence from Final Fantasy. You didn't have a party. Yes, you had companions. Yes, they followed you. You couldn't gear them. Elements didn't matter. You could just use any attacks on any enemies, and as long as, like, the attack windows and the timing worked, like, anything worked on anything. All of the Final Fantasy RPG stuff had been deleted from 16, so I have a feeling that Resonance is again, it's appease the boomers. It's sort of like this, let's test the waters, right? Because I think when they finish FF7, the latest game is it this year's coming out? When is it coming out? FF7 Part 3 is... When is the... Do we know the release date? Revelation's the new one? Yes, Revelation's the new one. Q1 and Q2 2027. After that comes out, I don't think they have any fucking idea what to do. I actually don't think they know what... And this is probably why they split it out into 3 games, right? What the fuck is Square Enix going to do when you don't have any more 7 to remake? Do you remake 8? I don't think 8 has that same kind of appeal. Do you remake 6? I know 6 has, like, it's, again, hyper boomer audience. I don't think 6 has that appeal. 9? I don't think 9 has the appeal. Look, they're probably gonna fucking re-release. They're probably gonna re-release 13 at this point. I don't know. I think they're gonna. I think they might try doing 8 and 9, but 7 was such a generational game, a industry console setting game, that it's like anything else just doesn't have that same kind of, that name appeal, that name grab. So I think Resonance is this, like, testing of the waters of, like, what should we do with the next mainline game? And I don't know. I honestly, I could see them trying I could see them going all in and just making a game where it's like, this is turn-based, this is party-based, and then there's going to be some fucking problem with it, the writing, probably. And people are going to be like, they're going to hate it. Like, see, guys? See, we were right with it. This is the way to go. But, like, I think Square's got such, like, a identity crisis right now because most of the audience for Square Enix games are above the age of 25 at a minimum, probably closer to 28. Most of them probably over the age of 30, right? There are no kids that give a shit about Final Fantasy, right? When did 16 come out? FF16 release date. Wasn't like 2022 or something? 23. I was close. So that came out 3 years ago now. Then when did 15 come out? 15 was 2016. And then 14 was an MMO, which they deleted and then they remade. And then 13 was... FF13 is 2009. This is why no kids give a shit about Final Fantasy anymore, right? Let's say you played 15 when you were 12, right? Let's say you were 12 when FF15 came out. So what was the date? It was 2016, 2023. So you would have been 19 by the time 16 came out, right? You don't build an attachment to a series like that. And yeah, you can go back and play old games. And I think more people should go back and play old games. I've been doing that. That's why I'm playing through the Trails series. It's really fucking good. I don't care that the first Trails game was Trails Sky Part 1. What year was it? It was, no, not the remake, the original one. The original was 2004. I don't care that it came out 22 years ago. It's a good fucking game. It's a really good fucking game. Go play old games. But if you're not doing that, right, and if you have your other hobbies, right, it's really hard to build an attachment to something where there's no titles. There's just no games that come out. And I think this is what makes games like Apex so appealing to kids, or Fortnite, or Roblox, or any of these things, because... even Minecraft kind of struggles with it with their content cycle, but you get new content every 3, 6, 4 months, whatever the content cycle for the specific game is. So you're always in that sort of like roll into the next release. Like, oh my god, there's season 1 and season 2 and season 12 and 13 and 27, and you can like keep being on that treadmill, right? You never really lose an attachment. You're playing a game like Roblox, and there's always these like new games being added into Roblox. And yes, Minecraft has that to an extent. Even if you're not talking about the main content, there's always servers and mods and all this stuff. There's the ecosystem around it where even if the developers aren't making stuff, you're at least still within that content, right? But there's no new Final Fantasy content. There's... you know, like, how does a kid get attached to it? And, like, Kingdom Hearts has the same problem as well.